What's up, y'all? It's your girl Jaleesa the realist, and I'm back at him again with another video. Today I felt like sharing. I really felt the desire to share a story that really was the foundation and the beginning of my journey into me getting to know myself, my journey into confidence, my journey into business, my journey into life, and how currently I'm actually living the other side of this plan. And so the plan was when I was 19, well, I guess, was I 19 at the time, or was I 18 turning 19? I would say, okay, I was already 19 for sure. Okay, so I was 19 when I decided to have a baby, guys. And so if you want to hear this story, keep on listening. Okay, I just had to find something to set you down first because it's about to get real. Okay, I don't think that I've ever actually really told this story before. I mean, I guess I've told it, in one way or the other to individuals, but I don't know, guys. This lighting, should I really tell this story? Should I really tell this story? Oh my gosh, guys. So when I was 19, this boy had asked me to have his baby, and automatically I was like, you must be mad. Me? Do you know who my mother is? Okay, boy, do you know who my mother is? Also, I was really like, I'm about to be the next Oprah, and if I have a baby now, how am I gonna manage that life? I always felt that and knew that my life would require me to, move and be around and be traveling. And interestingly enough, just a few years ago, I was crying to my friends about, not knowing what I was gonna do with my son when it was time to travel. Kind of even forgetting about this moment that I'm sharing now in this story. So, he had asked me to have his baby. I was like, no way. And he eventually told me that if I had his baby, he would love me more. And so me being 19 with a low self-esteem, I was like, okay, if that's all it takes to have you love me more, yeah, I'll have your baby. So I ended up we ended up purposefully, I remember purposefully trying to get pregnant the very next time we had sex. And I got pregnant. My next period, I was pregnant. And I remember finding out on his birthday. And so I was at square one. If you're, from Toronto, GTA, Saga, you know about square one. I was at square one in the food court bathroom, the time where they had the bathroom behind that Cinnabon. Yeah, that bathroom. Okay, that's where I found out I was pregnant. And so I had told him. Obviously, we ended up that very day going to the pharmacy and buying Materna prenatal pills. I don't know why I felt my first instinct was to buy that, but I guess because as a woman, I'm a nurturer naturally, so anyways, I bought that. I had brought it home, put it inside of a bag in the Narnia section of my closet. Okay, and so because it was birthday, we went to downtown or Niagara or one of them places, and I get a call basically letting me know that my mom had found the Materna in the Narnia section of my closet. How? I still don't know. Okay. Things transpired. I eventually told my mom, and her reaction was dramatic from where I stood. Okay, let's just leave it at that. Okay, and I feel like, it was in a time where, so like that year was 2011, so it wasn't exactly praised upon if your daughter got pregnant young, or even worse, before getting married. Like, it wasn't celebrated at all. And so I feel that she I guess was trying to protect herself from judgment that might have come from anyone, really. And anyways, so that happened, and then I told my dad right after, and he was of course disappointed, and like one single teardrop just fell to the ground. Like, it didn't even touch his face. I specifically remember that. And he said that he told me that he was disappointed because he had the talk with me, like the birds and the bees talk, and although he had the talk with me, like, this still managed to happen. And I mean, I don't know, I guess at that age, did that really matter to me at that time more than having a boy love me more that was already supposed to love me? Like, it's just so like crazy to look back at some of the decisions that we make. However, while this boy was trying to convince me to have his baby, he also said, like, when the baby's born, you will have the baby mostly because the baby depends on you, the mother, to take care of him. And when he grows up, I guess I'll have to step in, or I will step in and take care of the boy or the child at that time, so that you can go and travel and do live your life. And so, like, now that's something that I'm really experiencing, because if you've been on this journey with me, where I've traveled, what's currently happening in my life. And the first time that I went to Ghana, I had my son with me, and we stayed for a long time, and the reason why I'm back here is to bring him back. And like, now, or for the whole time we were over there in Ghana, I've really had to think about and decide to operate according to the decision that is best for my child, regardless of how it makes me feel emotionally and all of the other things. And trust me, I've cried about it, and I think I've come to the realization that in parenting, you really have no choice but to surrender. You have no choice but to surrender to God and all that is divine. And as much as, or as hard as it is as a mother to even think about being apart from your child, I feel like we're at a stage where the reality is it has to be done. It has to be done for like a few reasons, in terms of the growth of my child, and him being able to have structured learning well, because I've just been so busy with business that I haven't been able to stay up on top of homeschooling and business, and it's just so much being a parent and a teacher and everything else, especially when you don't have a huge family support around you, which my child is also used to being here in Canada, because both of my parents and my sister and my nieces, cousins, uncles, aunties, grandparents, like you know, his own dad, like. And so there's just so many different elements, but again, like, to now be living on the other side of that decision with the understanding that, you know, at some point I would have to release my child into the world. And it's crazy because even for years, I remember sitting around a campfire probably in 2016 or so, and somebody asked the question, what is your biggest fear? And my response was, my biggest fear is, you know, having to send my son now in the world and, you know, me not being there, you know, to protect him, to guide him, and all of that stuff. And now I'm literally preparing to, like, live past that. And it's not easy. It is not easy, but again, like I'm gonna share something with you. And I feel that in this season of my life, God really has an Abrahamic test over my life. And I'm not gonna lie to you and tell me that I know the whole Bible and I know the details of all the stories, but from what I understand, Abraham was instructed by God to take his one and only son. When I say one and only son, like, Abraham was an old man, and he finally was blessed with a son. And God told him to carry his son up to the mountain and basically sacrifice him, like to kill the son and sacrifice this son back to God. And, like, you know, Abraham didn't question it. Abraham just did it because he, you know, he must have known within himself that God would not have blessed him with that son just for him to experience more pain or burden, or, you know, just to take that son away. So Abraham knew, like, you know, God is really, you know, just seeing where my heart's at and, you know, testing me to see if I'm ready for what's next. And because Abraham was obedient, God blessed him for generations and generations and generations. And so, like, I'm really feeling that, you know, it's just my duty to be obedient to what I know that God is, like, transcribing me to do. And I'm also grateful that, you know, I'm grateful to have such a strong and deep connection. I am grateful that as a business woman, I have the ability to say that I am so busy, like, my hands are full, like, yes, I need help, you know. And I'm so grateful for the growth. One last thing that I'll share is, you know, in order to help myself feel better about this whole new transition that's happening, I started looking at it like this. Since I was 19, I got pregnant. I gave birth when I was 20. And from that day, I've never known myself as just a woman. I've only known myself as a mother. And so I'm gonna use that as my fuel to rediscover Julissa. And so I share gratitude with you for being here with me. Alright, remember to share this video with someone that you love. And leave a comment if it resonated with you at all. Till next time.